Jets lose again, right? 3-9 on the year, continue to be the laughingstock of the NFL, falling on their face yet again. 3-9, 3-9 on the season. And look, when your team has the worst coaching staff in football, paired with being the most mentally weak, paired with, I would say, a bottom 3 to 5 team as far as physical toughness goes, you're going to lose a lot of games. Is anyone really surprised that the Jets lost to the first place Seattle Seahawks with a bye, with extra time to prepare? History shows that when the Jets actually have more days to prepare for an opponent, this is not just, a 2024 thing. This goes back years and years. When the Jets have extra time to prepare, they actually look worse. And this is also a game where Seattle made a cross-country trip. So kind of, the internal clock, it's an early kickoff for them. They come out, they're asleep at the wheel. They had the 2 fumbles early on in the game. They had the muff. I mean, how many opportunities did the Seahawks have? I believe in the within the Jets' own 5-yard line. It was play after play after play after play after play, because the Jets kept getting flagged and Seattle still couldn't punch it in. So you have all of these mistakes that Seattle's making. Geno missing some throws here and there, and yet again the Jets come out and can't capitalize. If there is any bit of adversity thrown the Jets' way in a game, it could be a drive, it could be an interception, it could be a touchdown, it could be one play. The team just crumbles. It's the confidence, the self-belief, it just goes right down the drain. Like, everything has to go perfectly from the start for this team to be, competitive in the fourth quarter. I mean, the Jets were up 21-7. 21-7 in the first half. And we lose 26-21. Come on, man. Give me a break. You're telling me that going into halftime, entire third quarter, entire fourth quarter, it's just all Seattle Seahawks football. And yeah, there were some questionable calls, but look, the Jets have been penalized at a pretty high rate under this regime for the last 4 years. We can't just, like, for example, as much as I want to blame the Devontae Adams offensive PI, I didn't really agree with that call. It doesn't matter, because the Jets you could probably point to 5, 6, 7 other flags in the game where you're like, yeah, that is fair. That should be a flag. So the Jets just continue to bail Seattle out. It's just a complete joke. It is just a complete joke. Rodgers, Adams, Brees, Braylon, Garrett, Conklin, Morgan Moses, Quinnen Williams, Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed, Michael Carter, Will McDonald, shout out to him, 10 sacks on the season. But all of these guys pressed up against the cap, first round pick after first round pick after first round pick. Joe Douglas made this team exactly how he wanted, and it's 3-9. We are worse than we have ever been under this regime. And yes, obviously Joe Douglas and Saleh are not here. And you can argue if Saleh was here that this team would look a little bit more, a little bit better. I mean, you got to imagine they would look a little bit better. I believe they would look a little bit better. And I think we can all agree that, hey, you know what? The firing of Robert Saleh was premature. I mean, we all said it at the time. But, 5 weeks into the season, with first place on the line against the Buffalo Bills, they want to make a change. So, God, it is just infuriating to watch this team. I mean, you could talk about just issue after issue. And again, focusing in on adversity. 21-7. The Jets actually had an opportunity. They had it in the red zone. They could have went up 28-7, or at the least 24-7 if they can't convert on that third down. But what happens? Aaron Rodgers misses a wide open Garrett Wilson in the corner, right? The bottom section of the screen. Garrett's wide open. Rodgers misses it. He turns around. He's, I would assume, screaming at himself for missing the throw. Very next play, Leonard Williams takes it to the house. It's things like that decide whether you are a good team or a bad team. It's moments like that where it's like, do we see the Chiefs doing stuff like that? Do we see the Eagles or the Bills or the Ravens having just miscommunication, dysfunction all over the place? Not to mention just the pathetic clock management. The clock, like, what do we do? Like, going into halftime, why are we saving the 3 timeouts? I mean, we had an opportunity to use a timeout on that Seattle Seahawks drive when they were kind of pushed back in their own end zone. We could have received the punt with, I would say, around like at least 50-ish seconds left at, Jets 40? Like, regardless, good field position with 2 timeouts. Like, that, sign me up for that. But we just save all of them, and the Jets are just content going into halftime. And, I understand that the Jets were leading, but still, like, you got to keep the foot on the gas pedal there. And again, it's not to say that the Jets would have came away with points, but it's just like there's just no aggression with this team. There's no life, there's no energy. And again, when they get punched in the mouth, they just don't get up off of the mat. So 3-9. We'll do of course, right, we have to look at the 4:00 slate, but we'll do a draft update tomorrow morning. Check in on that, where we stand, and kind of dive into the specifics with everything, because it's starting to get, around that time. And I don't necessarily know if the Jets are mathematically eliminated, but New York would literally have to win out from next week on. We could go undefeated. Everyone can look amazing. Undefeated, blow every team out, and we'd finish 8-9. That is how bad this season has gone. Horrible. Here's the good news, though. If you are a fan that is excited for change, new general manager, potentially a football, like a president or a director of football ops, new head coach, new staff, potentially a new quarterback, these are the games that you can point to say, yeah, you are 100% justified in wanting change. This is a disgrace. It's a flat-out embarrassment. There is no reason at all why the Jets that are, again, you're looking at the team, veterans all over the place, millions upon millions of dollars invested into this roster, every single position handpicked by Douglas and the regime. They have the same record as the New England Patriots, who are rolling out a rookie quarterback in Drake May, coached by a first-year head coach in Gerard Mayo, with not a lot of talent. And yeah, New England lost again today, and I believe they're 3-10 and we're 3-9, but it doesn't even matter. It is a joke. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. 2025 cannot come fast enough. I am excited for the offseason. I'm excited for change. I'm excited to see the new faces being brought in. Let me know your thoughts, and as always, go Jets.